I have watched every Billie Jean performance that I could find. And when I mean every, I mean from full performances to only performances that we have like a 3 second snippet of. I have watched everything I could find. I'm gonna put them into an iceberg from most known to least known, and then I'm gonna put them into a tier list while we go on. So let's get to it. Also, I'm gonna split this iceberg tier list video into like 3 parts. I think that would be best, because else it would probably be like an hour and a half something of video, and that would take a lot of time for me to do just in one sitting. So I'm splitting it up in 3 parts most likely, and then at the end I'll put them all into like a big video if you want that. But for now it's 3 parts, and this is part 1, and we will dive into tier 1 and tier 2. Tier 1, which is most known and popular. Now, of course, here we have Motown 25. This performance is most likely a lot of people's first viewing of Billie Jean, because it is one of the most iconic performances, as it is his first performance of Billie Jean. So obviously it's on the most known tier here. However, it's not that good compared to other performances, but it's not bad. It lays the foundation very well. However, it's clear it's his first time doing it with Billie Jean, of course. That sounds weird out of context. I'm gonna put it in C tier because it's good, but it could be better, and other performances will be better. Next up, we have the 30th anniversary Pro Mix. Now, the Pro Mix has 2 performances, which is of September 7th and September 10th, 2001. So I'm not gonna put this mix into a tier list. I'm gonna put both of them into the tier list when I reach them down the list, but not now. But the Pro Mix is also most likely a lot of people's first viewing of Billie Jean, because a lot of people gravitate towards newer performances, and considering this was in 2001, it is more new compared to, let's say, Motown, as I just covered, which was in 1983. So a lot of people gravitate towards this because, one, it's in 2001, and also it's in New York City, which is very well known, obviously. Honestly, this mix could have been better. I've actually made a video on this channel where I talk about why I think it could be better. So I'm gonna leave a link to that actually. Now we go on to the Wembley July 16th, 1988 performance. This is the one that was released officially by the estate, and you can watch it on YouTube if you want. This is probably the worst Wembley performance, probably, at least of 1988. Like, for some reason his vocals here sound pretty weird. There's probably like some documented reason. Maybe he's sick. I actually don't know. I just know I don't like how he sings here. The ad-libs are cool, but like some of the dancing is cool too, of course, but like I just feel like all the other Wembley shows seem to be better. And for that reason, I'm putting it in C tier. It's not bad, but there's just better. C tier is just in the middle. Think of C tier as the middle of everything. So it's not bad, but it could be better. Moving on to Bucharest, which is 90% of all people's first fucking viewing of Billie Jean. I cursed. I'm sorry. I need to stop cursing. This was on October 1st, 1992, and this is also a performance we have in Pro officially. A lot of people say this is the best performance of Billie Jean, which I highly disagree with. The vocals are not up to par with other performances. There's a lot of ad-libs though, which I guess a lot of people like, including me. I love ad-libs. I love myself some good ad-libs. But the main vocals just aren't that good. There's a lot of dancing, though there's a lot of energy as well. And it's in great quality because it is an official release. It's nice, it's good, but it could be better, so I'm putting it in C tier. Again, right in the fucking slap dab. I cursed again. Yokohama. I hate this performance. I absolutely hate this performance. The drums sound goofy, and the way Michael pronounces the vocals sound goofy. Like, the first thing he sings is, "She was more like a beauty queen from movie Sheen." Like, he sounds like he's from the South or something. It sounds weird. It's like Cowboy MJ. "How do you do, beauty queen?" It sounds weird, and I don't like it. And the camera angles suck too. There's some cool video editing, but it's kind of whack. Also, they misspelled Billie Jean with a Y instead of the IE. E tier. It's E. I hate it. It's not bad, but it's just, I don't like it, okay? I don't like it. Moving on to some Victory Tour, Toronto, October 6th, 1984. When people go to watch Victory Tour, this is probably the performance they find first because it's the highest quality and most widely distributed, I would say. There are some better quality performances, which we will get into down the line, but it's a great quality. And it's a good performance, but it's a great introduction to the Victory Tour overall. It's what introduced me to the Victory Tour. The bass sounds amazing. There's just something about the bass from that tour that just sounds really, really strong. But I'm putting it in C tier because, it's not bad at all. No, it's good. It's incredibly good, but there are other performances from the same tour that are better, in my opinion. Now we go to Munich on July 6th, 1997. This was my first viewing of Billie Jean because it's in great quality and it's just widely distributed. You can find it all over YouTube because of its quality, I guess. The sound mix is really, really good. His vocals aren't. His vocals are really bad. Probably the worst vocals of 1997. Like, without a doubt. This is the worst vocals of the tour. No, not tour, but 1997 tour. 1997 leg of the history tour. You get me. And the dancing is also good. There's like 3 toe stands, but there's not a toe stand after the moonwalk, which is, and it feels a bit lacking. And he's a bit slow, but there's still a lot of good dancing that I like. Even that's my favorite move, the 3-step or James Brown shuffle. Munich 1997 goes in C tier because it's not bad. A lot of people shit on it, which is fair, but it's not bad. It's definitely not bad. It's not one of the worst ones, not at all. In fact, it's quite good with a lot of its executions of the movement. The breakdown is short, but I like it, so it's in C tier. Moving on to the last one on this tier, we have This Is It, June 6, 2009. This is the one that is in the documentary. This performance is it's okay on some parts. It shows his creative genius when it comes to dancing and how he could just improvise on the fly and whatnot. And it also shows his evolved dancing from back then when he used to perform it. The last time he performed Billie Jean was in 2001 and this is in 2009, so there's a big gap between him performing it. This is a good performance on some areas, but like the main choreography of the song is like, he doesn't even do the proper moonwalk, and when he does it, it's like 3 slides and we see it from a horrible angle, so we can't really see him how he does it really. And the main choreography is performed with not that much effort because he's rehearsing, but that still counts. All the main Billie Jean things are not that good here, so I'm bringing it down to E tier. That's just how that is. Now we move on to the second tier of the iceberg, which I have named Known. These are most likely not anyone's first viewing of Billie Jean. They could be, but I highly doubt they are. These performances are more so like, you find the ones I mentioned earlier interesting and you want to see more, then you watch these because they just pop up after you watch one of the other ones. So yeah. First off, we have Munich, June 27th, 1992. This is a really good performance and a lot of people say they really, really love the vocals, and so do I. I love the vocals of this performance. It's also cool because it's the first show of the Dangerous World Tour, so you can see some bad tour essence in his dancing and how he's performing the song here, which is cool. It is cool, yeah. However, I do prefer his later styles of the tour, but still the vocals are really good here compared to a lot of other shows on this tour, so I'm putting it at A tier. It is a really good performance, but it's not one of my favorites. So moving on, we go to Kuala Lumpur, October 29th, 1996. Now this is a really good performance. The live vocals here are really good. It's obviously mostly playbacked because it's on the history tour, but the live vocals here sound so good. Like, oh my god, they're definitely some of the best vocals of the history tour in 1996, from Billie Jean, of course. It used to be one of my favorites. It isn't now, however, it's not. But it's really good, so I'm putting it in A tier. It's super good. Moving on, we have Auckland, November 9th, 1996. This performance is, how can I say it? It's good, but it's also bad. Like, the vocals are good, but they also suck at the same time. Like, it's cool that he sings ad-libs, like the he's. He does a lot. He does some of those, and they sound good. But the rest of the vocals sound kind of really low in volume, and he's clearly suffering from laryngitis. There's a good amount of dancing, and the dancing is groovy. He dances in a very groovy manner here. That's the best way I can put it. However, I do not like his makeup. Like the way he looks, the makeup, that sounds horrible. I'm sorry, that sounds really rude. His makeup and hairstyle, I don't like it at this performance, and it could be better. So I'm putting it in C tier. Now moving on to the Munich HD widescreen 16:9 4K History 25 release, whatever the hell you want to call it. It's the 16:9 widescreen edit we have of Munich at least 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I don't remember. It's Munich, it's just Munich. However, it has clips of July 4th, which is the better Munich show, of course. It makes the performance, or this mix anyways, a lot more interesting, but I'm not going to rank this mix, but I will say I do enjoy this mix a lot, and it shows the potential if there was to be a HD history tour concert release of a mix. Like if they were to do it, I think it would look amazing. It would shed some new light on the history tour, because there's a lot of, like, let's say bad tour fans and dangerous tour fans. Dangerous tour fans. No, dangerous tour fans that don't like history tour because there's too much lip singing, or because he doesn't have enough energy, which that's stupid. He does have a lot of energy on this tour. I don't know why people say he doesn't have a lot of energy. Like, you must only be watching Munich or some late history tour show. Watch some history tour 1996 shows like Manila. He has a lot of energy there. You ruined my day with these comments, man. Moving on to Buenos Aires, October 12th, 1993. This is a very well-known one, but again, I don't think it will be anyone's first viewing of the song. I highly doubt it. This performance is... It's good. It's the only 1993 performance we have in full pro, which kind of brings me to tears because I love 1993. This performance is good. There's a lot of dancing, but there's also... There's a lack of power in it, I would say. The moonwalk is pretty good though, but like it's not one of the best shows to the tour. It's absolutely not one of the best performances. But there's some really cool and unique ad-libs. Like, he does a lot of hee-hees. And it sounds really, really good. So for that, I enjoyed it a lot, but it's not... It's C tier. It's C tier. It's C tier. Moving on to Bremen, August 8th, 1992. I hate you. I hate this performance so much. The ankles suck penis. It's so bad. And every time I watch it, I'm thinking, I could fix him. I could make this performance better with a new mix. No, I can't. I could make it better with color correction. No, I can't. It sucks. It fucking sucks. I hate this performance. And it's not just because of the camera angles. I just don't like it. The vocals are good, but like, he's sick here, I'm pretty sure. And it's kind of evident. Moving on to Cologne on July 11th, 1992. This used to be one of my favorite performances of Billie Jean. Now it is not. This performance is great. It has great vocals sometimes. Sometimes he sounds a bit weak, but other times he sounds really, really good. And the dancing is really cool too, though there could be more. So I'm putting it in B tier. Yeah. It's not the best, but it's better than normal. It's better than other performances for sure. Now moving on to Royal Brunei, July 16th, 1996. I used to love this performance, but then I used to hate it, and now I have accepted it. Now I think it's actually okay. A lot of people would say this is how he would sing Billie Jean live on the history tour, like fully live, and I kind of disagree. Actually, I disagree a lot, because the way he sings the song at this show is how he sings it on the Dangerous tour, except now it's at a slower tempo. It's like at the album tempo, a bit slower, I think, actually. And he pronounces the words, the lyrics, way too fast, so the song seems very empty throughout most of the song, which is unfortunate because there is good potential here, and there's also actually a lot of good dancing, but there's just poor camera work, or poor camera angles chosen, because I'm pretty sure it's an edited show, for sure, so like they have chosen angles after it was recorded, and came out with this mix of it, which could be way better. Whatever, I'm putting this in C tier because, it's interesting to hear him sing at a slower pace compared to the Dangerous Tour, which is way faster. I would go to Oslo on July 15th, 1992. This show is interesting because it's in daylight. It's interesting, but I prefer when it's just, at nighttime, when it's dark. It matches the Billie Jean vibe more. Like considering it's in daylight, it just feels like a rehearsal almost. Besides that, the dancing is good. The vocals are good, but that's just it. It's just good. I don't think there's more to it. It's just good. It's not bad. It's not amazing. I'm putting it in C tier. The MTV Video Music Awards. I recently covered this and I said my thoughts on it there. It's good. The dancing is amazing. It's playback. That's fine. But the dancing is amazing. But I feel like there could be a better variety. Variety. I can't say that word, but you know what I mean. In terms of movement he does, because he just does a lot of the what do you call the move? The heel tap. Which is kind of, it's part of Billie Jean. It's part of like all his songs basically. Like he always does that move. So I'm putting it in C tier because like there's some shows that are similar to MJ and Friends performances. I will get to them and you will hear my thoughts on them. They're basically just like the better versions of this performance, honestly. We have Gothenburg, August 16th, 1997. A lot of people really love this performance, and I've seen some people think it's the best Billie Jean performance of the History Tour, which I disagree with a lot. I don't see how that's possible, because this is an August 1997 show, and this is like the leg of the tour where he's slow, or maybe not slow, but he's in a weird state. There's less dancing, and he's less wild, I think is the best way to describe him on this leg of the tour. But besides that, it is a good performance. He's having a good time, which is good. He's smiling while singing live, mind you. And he sings the Breaking My Heart ad-lib in a really unique way. He elongates it, which sounds really, really good. And there's some unique dancing, some alterations to how he usually does things. For example, when he would do the kick normally, here he does like a cool pointing upwards move and like spins around. But it's good, but it could be better. And I think a lot of other 1997 performances of the tour are better. So I'm putting it in C tier. Now moving on to Copenhagen, August 14th, 1997. Now, I am from Copenhagen originally, so I've always found this performance to have a special place in my heart, even though I used to hate it, honestly, even though it is in Copenhagen and I like the location, the venue, whatnot. I used to think this performance actually just sucked peanuts, like just choked on peanuts because it was so bad, but it has grown on me, and in fact, I like it a lot. I think it might actually be my favorite August 1997 performance of Billie Jean, because he does some cool alterations to the choreography, but he still maintains the way he used to do it. He doesn't do less movements here, actually. Like, he dances more here than he does in Gothenburg, I would say. The breakdown is interesting, too, because the standing moonwalk he usually does, he shortens it here. Like, he basically skips it and goes directly into a moonwalk, which seems super cool. Also, when he starts the performance, I think he only thrusts, like, 3 times. Like, in any other performance you'll find, he does it at least 4. I think this is the only performance where he does it 3 times. Yeah, I'm putting in C tier. Moving on to Helsinki, August 26th, 1997. I do not like this performance, but I can acknowledge that it is a good performance, even though I don't like it. I don't like his mannerisms here. Like, that sounds really rude, but like, he's more himself here. Like, he doesn't really have that angry demeanor that the usual Michael Jackson persona is. Like, he isn't that aggressive here, which a lot of people like, which I understand, and I like it too, but I prefer it when it's the normal angry, aggressive demeanor, which the 1996 leg has a lot of, so I usually gravitate toward those performances, but I need to acknowledge that this performance is really good, especially for an August show. It is probably the most energetic Billie Jean performance we have when it comes to August shows, because he does a lot of dancing and unique stuff, and he sings a lot too, with some interesting ad-libs, and he laughs too, which is nice. It's lovely to see him smile. It's really good to see him smile, and because of that, I'm putting it in B tier. He's a happy man, which means I am a happy man as well. Now we go to Seoul, October 11th, 1996. Now, as I was saying, I usually gravitate towards 1996 performances compared to 1997 performances because of the demeanor, and the worst of this leg of the tour, 1996 leg, it's not bad at all, because there's still a lot of dancing. I like a lot of dancing, which is why History Tour is my favorite tour, because I really, really, really like dancing, and obviously I like vocals too, but when I think of Michael performing live, I usually think of his dancing more than I think of his singing. Back to the actual performance. This is interesting because he's clearly sick here, or something. Something. He's out of his mind, it seems. And he seems angry, which is cool, which fits the song. He's also slower, which is interesting to watch, but it also makes his performance seem a bit weaker, but I still think it's really good. But because he's slower, he elongates the way he does a lot of movement. For example, when he does the robotics during the breakdown, they seem really, really good, which is why this performance has one of my favorite Billie Jean breakdowns like ever. It's just super good. Like, there's one cool ad-lib, but that's it, and his ow sounds cool, but the mic is so low you can't hear it that much. But else the vocals are pretty bad. So I'm putting it in C tier. Los Angeles on January 27th, 1989. Now, a lot of people know this performance because it's in Los Angeles. That's mainly what gives it recognition. It's the venue. That's how it goes for a lot of performances, honestly. At least to my knowledge. This is a really good bad tour performance. I think it was probably one of my favorites when I started entering the bad tour, and it has always stuck with me because the vocals are really good and the instrumentation sounds really good too. And now that we have a high quality sound mix audio of it, I'm grateful. But yeah, I'm putting it in A tier because it's one of the best, but I have other performances that I think are better. So moving on to the Super Bowl show on January 31st, 1993. This performance is not that good. It's very short. It's too short, to be honest. I don't know why he performed it such a short while. Like, I know that Super Bowl shows have to be like 15 minutes. Super Bowl halftime shows, mind you, have to be like 15 minutes or something. But I feel like he should have extended this song and shortened some other song. Like, I don't have much to say about this performance. I feel it's very lacking because it's too short. I'm putting it in E tier. Now we go to Seoul on June 25th, 1999. Now, this is what I was talking about when I said that the MJ and Friends shows are just better versions of the MTV 1995 performance, because they are. For starters, they have a live band, which sounds fantastic, really, really good, and the dancing is also just better. Like, plus the outfit is better. Like, he takes the fedora off for like 5 seconds and puts it back on. So it's really cool to see him perform the chorus of the song with the fedora on. I really think that's really cool. And the dancing is super cool. He does the moonwalk to the opposite side. I like this performance a lot. I do, but it's not one of my favorites. I like performances that are the full song of Billie Jean. That's it's lacking a bit because it's not the full song, but what the performance does have is really good. So I'm putting it in B tier. And now the brother of this performance is in Munich, June 29th. No, June 27th or June 29th. Is it June 27th? It's June 27th, right? On 1999. It's the same as Seoul, actually. It's just like they're equally good. I'm putting it in B tier. In B tier. I totally forgot the Brunei history to a show. So I'm just gonna do it here real quick. It's C tier because the dancing is good, the vocals are good, but I really don't like the angles. But in general, it's just standard. It's just good, really. And that brings me to the end of the first part of this ginormous iceberg video. The next part we're gonna cover the third tier. Maybe the fourth tier, but probably just the third tier because there's a lot of shows there. But for now, this is the first part of this iceberg video that I've made. So I hope I see you in part 2 and also in part 3 when that comes out.